The Julius Abure-led faction of the Labour Party has issued a 48-hour ultimatum to Peter Obi, demanding his resignation over his involvement in a new coalition under the African Democratic Congress, ADC.
A coalition which includes heavyweights like David Mark and Rauf Aregbesola aims to challenge the ruling APC in 2027. But the Labour Party says it's not part of this alliance, that they're calling Obi's move a betrayal against the party. Now, join us this morning on Breakfast Central to discuss this ultimatum issued by the Labour Party to its candidate as Publicity Secretary of the Labour Party, Mr. Abayomi Arabambi. Good morning to you, sir, and thanks for joining us on Breakfast Central.
Yeah, good morning, and thank you for having me this morning.
Now, my first question is, why has the Labour Party decided to take this position? And did Peter Obi not consult with the leadership of the Labour Party before joining the coalition?
Well, thank you very much. Let me start by quoting Martin Luther King Jr. when he said, "Our life begin to end the day we are silent in our things that matters." And also, the Cameroonian philosopher Fabien Bonada said, "In Africa, we do not have leaders who fail and retire, but rather we have leaders who fail and recycle." This is exactly what is happening to Nigeria now, where the architect, of our natural disaster, are shamelessly recruiting themselves as messiah, where those who poisons, our economy are coming now to present, to Nigeria a new prescription. The constitution is very clear. You cannot belong to two political parties. And we have been very consistent, in our ideology with respect to Labour Party, that you cannot, the Labour Party is not going to be part of any coalition, a coalition of Yahoo, where people who, enter in the past, are for one thing or the other, and they fail woefully to decide that their duty, will now be leading a coalition, to return Nigeria back to the, to the dark ages. Peter Obi, as we have constantly said it, is not making any discussion on behalf of the Labour Party, but is free on his own to go and join any coalition. And it's very clear, the Constitution forbids anybody, you can't be in the Labour Party, at the same time, you'll be in the ADC. ADC is a political party. Now that all of them have joined, that automatically signifies that he has resigned. But you see, we know Obi for who he is. Some 5 or 6 days ago, most of him have watched him on Twitter, listened to him on Twitter, Andrew, where he said he is pushing to recognize the Nadi Usman, who we believe in Labour Party is just the chairman of their Young Festival Committee. No framework of our party, no constitutional, area of our party recognizes, the Nadi Usman. He is just the one that, set up the Nadi Usman caretaker to be managing their Young Festival. Now, on just 6 days ago, he told Nigeria that, I am still, in Labour Party, we are pushing. He told Nigeria that it's not going to be any part of any coalition that want to grab power. But just 3 days ago now, you saw him again jumping ship. You saw him jumping ship, into ADC. He jumped ship into ADC, claiming to be leader of Labour Party. That one, as far as we are concerned, is not, acceptable, and that one we are giving him 48 hours because we do not want, the disaster that befell us in 2023 election to befell us again in 2027. He has decided to pitch his tent with them, and we are now telling him that, as far as we are concerned, Obi should not be thinking it's the upper and omega of Labour Party Nigeria. And that's why we are just giving 2 days to tender resignation, or else, we'll take him to the cleaners.
Okay,
then leave our party now. He should not be talking about Labour Party. Nobody that fall into that place should be talking about Labour Party anymore.
Mr. Arabambi,
and they are left for good.
Mr. Arabambi, but what we are seeing here, you've said he should resign in 48 hours. You've called him political Yahoo. But the Senator Nenadi Usman-led committee of the Labour Party have said that you guys are political jesters. They refer to your camp of leadership as political jesters and saying that Peter Obi consulted with the Labour Party. How do you hope, because at the end of the day, again, I think that this resurrects, again, the issue of leadership, who is really leading the Labour Party? I don't know, would you say that you and, the Julius Abure and your team have a firm grasp on leadership in the Labour Party?
As we speak today, the only body recognizes on the annual portal is Julius Abure as national chairman and Farouk Umar as national secretary. You see, let me be very clear. You see, we have some bunch of jesters, parading themselves as leader of the Labour Party. Nenadi Usman, as we said, is not our member. He's not member of the Labour Party. Nenadi Usman belongs to the PDP. And this kind of the character that even Obi imported into our party, in the build-up to 2023 election, that we saw the life of Acha Yusufu, we saw the life of Itoy Gadado. One of them, they are not members, but these are the people that superintended over our failure in 2023. So the same thing is what they are doing. Why I said they are doing Yahoo politics, that Obi just wanted to raise money for his business. Obi is not interested in becoming anything. You can't be speaking with both sides of the mouth. Tomorrow, you will tell Nigeria, I am here. Next tomorrow, you will tell them, I am not here. What we are not saying that we want to do anything, we want to do away with him. He should just go and find himself, If what he said is, is okay with the ADC coalition, we wish him well there. We don't want him, to put his foot there, one in ADC, one Labour Party. It is forbidden in the Constitution of Nigeria. You cannot be holding the card of two parties. In as much as he has openly identified with them, and they said, oh, our coalition wants to tackle President Bola. That one is none of our business. But we know that coalition in coalition, because every character there, they are the people that have brought one disaster or the other of Nigeria, and they cannot come back now to be giving us a prescription or now Nigeria will exist, whatever current problem. Now let me remind you, in 2014, this is the kind of coalition, including the current president, that brought untold hardship, a catastrophic governance of Buhari on Nigeria for 8 years, where the issue of insecurity they are even complaining about was they were the architect of that insecurity. Why do I say so? Remember, President Jonathan consulted so many Amagiri schools, but what did Adamu told us, the Minister of Education, they decided not to have anything to do with the Amagiri school. They said, oh, it is against their religion. They don't want to train them. They would rather prefer those young boys and girls, to be going to the Quranic school. But today, we have had a implosion in insecurity. They are now putting that, on Bola Tinubu. These are things some will not agree with, because they are the architect, of insecurity in Nigeria. There was insecurity during Jonathan. There was insecurity during Buhari. But these are the kind of, coalition that they felt is going to do Nigeria better. And look at the people there. How can the former Minister of Aviation now be smiling inside such a coalition? How can Rotimi Amechi be smiling inside that kind of coalition? How can Malami, the Attorney General, be smiling in that kind of coalition? You know what they want to do? They want to bring Nigeria back to the dark era, where we will now be using our over 95% resources, over our 95% internal revenue to be servicing debt, where they will not be taking loans again from China like they did during their administration, where virtually all Nigeria, including you and me, they want to use us as collateral before the National Assembly, such a loan. That is exactly where they want to put us to. So for us, Obi is not a member of the Labour Party, else, it is a constitutional issue. We don't want to drag him to court that people will be saying, oh, maybe the Labour Party is trying to cause confusion within the AGC. And because we are not interested in that their condition.
All right, Mr. Arabambi.
As Peter Obi has openly identified with them, we wish him well. He should tell that resume will take for Mr.
Arabambi,
we will take it to the political plane.
Mr. Arabambi, you've expressed your displeasure. But you said two things which I'm going to take note of, and I'd like you to respond to these questions.
One of the things you just said now is the fact that you said you cannot belong to a party and still be in another party. Are you aware of the FCT minister? Have you spoken against it? Or is it because Obi is closer to Labour Party, so it hurts the most? I'd like you to respond to that. Secondly, your party just a few weeks ago was begging Peter Obi, according to the stories you found in the papers, they used the word begging, that he should please come back and get ready for 2027. Do you think yourself, personally, that your political platform is perfect and right now for Mr. Peter Obi? If you were him, would you stay?
You see, nobody ever predicted with Peter Obi to come back to the Labour Party. That is the figment of imagination of, some characters, that have been following to their young festival in Abia and Abuja. I will continue to maintain that stand. We have never begged him to come back and run the Labour Party. Now, our party, is so formidable now that we will go into that 2027 presidential election without Peter Obi. Peter Obi is just a child of circumstances. Do not forget the issue of NSAS. Nigeria was just tired with the way the maladministration of President and former President Muhammadu Buhari, who destroyed our economy and made Nigeria poverty capital of the world. Nigeria was also displeased, with the previous administration of the PDP. And the only thing they saw was the Labour Party then, they would have also, if NNPP have done the right thing, probably, the top of might have also said, oh, let us work together. But they saw Labour Party as the only party, that can deliver them, out of that present program that we find ourselves. But alas, we made a mistake, to put Peter forward. And within 6 months, a man that promises that can unite Nigeria in 2 years destroyed, our party. Now, for the PDP, is it for this well known to them? But the only thing I know is that former Vice President Atiku is the architect of whatever that is happening, to the People's Democratic Party. Now, the reason is this. I am not a fan of the FCT minister. But do not forget, when they were having issues, only one man will remain standing.
Does that give him the right? Mr. Arabambi, sorry to butt in. Sorry. We know the story, okay? Maybe because of time. You said Peter Obi cannot belong to your party and still try to, fraternize with another party. But I just asked you, there's an example already. In short, everybody's now saying that, let's do it together. Let's belong to one party and be here. And you've criticized it heavily because it's Mr. Peter Obi. Have you ever criticized it from the FCT minister's point before? Because you're trying to make an excuse now.
No, I don't think Minister Wike has ever declared for. No, I don't think Minister Wike has ever declared for APC.
Mr. Obi has not declared for ADC too now. He just joined the. Mr. Obi has not declared yet.
He had declared for APC. No, he had declared for ADC. We saw him there. We saw there. We saw. Is it Victor Ome? We saw them there. They can never come back. They can never come back to the Labour Party. They can never come back. You see, when the plane took off, you don't want the plane that took off to say, it's gone.
I'm sorry.
They are gone. They are gone.
But he has not. Is there a presser? Is there a press release? Is there a press release where he said, "I hereby"? Because former Rivers State Governor clearly mentioned that he's no longer a member of the APC. He said it clearly. But Mr. Peter Obi has not said that. So are you saying it for him ahead of time?
No, I said Peter Obi can never come back. You see, we do not want the kind of Yahoo politics that, we were a victim of Yahoo politics in 2023. We will never be a victim of Yahoo politics in 2027 because, you see, what do you think he wants to do? Let me tell Nigeria today. For him to have attended that place, I am not a prophet, but I will tell you, he will not get that ticket there and he will not get it in the Labour Party.
All right.
Please mark it down. Obi will not get that ticket there. I know we will get it in the Labour Party. We have a candidate that we are projecting.
Who is the candidate that you are projecting?
Obi is not coming back.
Who is the candidate that you are projecting for the Labour Party?
No, we have a candidate that we are projecting now.
Yes, who is the candidate?
In a short while, we will be in a world press conference.
Okay.
No, you see, if I let it out now, you know, most of the political hawks now, you see them, you know, moving around, you know, they just want to, you know,
just to confirm, just to confirm.
And let me shock you, she's a woman of international repute.
Oh, that's...
We are going to avail that very soon.
That's very exciting. I love to hear about women in office and women in political leadership positions as a woman. So that excites me. But I want to ask, when did you come to this decision in your party?
About?
This decision to...
About what?
To project...
About?
Yeah, the woman you're pushing forward, the Labour Party. The candidate, when did you come to this decision?
No, I said in a very short while, now, the woman will be unveiled.
So no, that's not what I'm asking.
The woman will be unveiled.
I agree. I'm not asking who she is. I'm asking, when did you come to this decision? When did you decide on her?
No, it's something that we have been, you know, doing underneath, because we knew Obi is not stable. We knew Obi is not stable.
Okay.
So we are also, you know, going into the political, you know, arena, you know, to pick a very viable political person from the Southeast.
So does this then give credence? From what you've said, does this then give credence to the fact that you were already going to do this, regardless of whether Peter Obi decided to stay or leave? You already had who you were going to throw your support behind. That is one. Two.
No, we don't know this has been the Labour Party. He has caused enough trouble for us. He should leave and go and join, you know, this association of people who poison the Nigerian economy, and they are now coming to a new prescription.
So you already wanted this to happen. So this is something that... So this is something that the Julius Abure-led faction of the Labour Party already wanted to happen. Regardless, there was no way that Peter Obi could have, you know, swung out of this position. It was going to eventually end up here, is what I'm driving at. Because from what you're saying, all indications, you already, and this is something I wanted to mention earlier, the Julius Abure-led faction of the Labour Party has not particularly been a fan of Peter Obi. So it would seem that all these was leading eventually to asking him to officially leave the party, which leads me to my next question. The Labour Party existed pre-Peter Obi, but came to fame because of Peter Obi, the vehicle of Peter Obi and the obedience movement. What is the Labour Party without Peter Obi, without the obedience movement in the 2027 election?
Thank you very much. There is no obedience when we won the governorship election in Ondo State. There is no obedience of Peter Obi, or just, you know, another businessman. When we won that governorship election in Ondo, when Omagege won election as a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in Labour Party before he defected, there was no Peter Obi when the Great Ogboru contested and we won so many assembly and rep. There was no Peter Obi when the late Ifeanyi contested the Labour Party. You see, most of these things are just, you know, the, you know, imagination of some of these people that follow Obi. And I'm not going to, you know, blame them. Most of these obedient, they are politically naive. They are politically docile. They are just a bunch of businessmen who doesn't even know anything about Nigeria political state. Because some of them even they don't even know people. And that is catastrophic. Because you see some of them coming out to say there was no Labour Party before now. That is a shame. A shame on even people call themselves brother. People call themselves educated. They don't even know that Labour Party has won a governorship, you know, that been seen before in this country. That is a shame, and that's why we do not want such characters foreign people all around. People who does not even know, you know, the economy, I mean, the political realities in Nigeria ever in their life. And people will be coming out to say, oh, what is Labour Party? Labour Party was nowhere before. How did we survive registration? They are forgetting that there are issues that INEC, you know, condition presented for INEC, you know, to register over 70-something political party before 2019 general election. Why did Labour Party made it? Because we won election into the assembly, we won election into the House of Reps. Without Peter Obi, who was busy managing his bank, for God's sake. So people should stop insulting Labour Party. I have been Labour Party for 16 years. Are they the one running it for us? Did you collected any money from Peter Obi or any other person before Mimiko won election in Labour Party? When we have the lack of Omagege from Delta, do they know what it means for us to win an election in Delta?
But Omagege,
we have
Omagege, this Omagege that you mentioned is still dumb.
In Anambra,
This Omagege that you mentioned in Mr.
We have one assembly member in Anambra when he was the governor. We have one assembly member when he was the governor. So what are we talking about? Nobody, I mean, we do not want, such
now, Mr. Arabambi.
Our issue is that Obi should go. We do not want him.
Okay, you've made your position very clear. You want Mr. Peter Obi to go, and feelers that he will exit the Labour Party very soon. You've given a 48-hour ultimatum. But my question is, the Labour Party, as currently constituted, is in some sort of crisis or the other. There's a leadership crisis, there are factions, there's also Lamidi Papa in the picture. My question to you is this. When Peter Obi eventually leaves the Labour Party, will there be peace? And is it the silver lining that would solve all the internal problems of the Labour Party? When he leaves, will all the wranglings and the internal discord in the Labour Party as currently constituted, will it end? That's my question to you.
The crisis in the Labour Party will come to an end immediately Peter Obi exits the Labour Party. That is what I want to tell Nigeria, and that's why we are asking him to leave the party. He is the genesis of the crisis we have in the Labour Party, so we want him to leave. So let him now go and try with the obedience, let them go and take over the ADC. Let him give, I mean, as he's going to ADC, let him become the president candidate, let Baba Ahmed become the vice president candidate. I mean, they should take Nadu Usman as their national chairman. You know, everybody, let them go there. They will see. Let them go there and try their luck. But they are gunners. They are gunners as far as the Labour Party. We have
Mr.
Arabambi, who are the gunners.
Please,
they will not come back.
Mr. Arabambi, please take a deep breath. I just want to refer to, I mean, you've been mentioning, you say that Peter Obi is the genesis of the Labour Party's issues. You've mentioned a number of people, even the Ovi Omagege that you mentioned, when he dumped the Labour Party for the APC as far back as 2017. He referred to the crisis within the Labour Party as a reason for him to leave the party. So at the end of the day, can we really be fair and honest? I understand you have every right to decide if you do not want someone to be a part of your party. They also have a right to be able to challenge that desire of yours. However, I don't know that it's a fair statement to say that Obi is the genesis of the crisis in the Labour Party.
It was the genesis of the crisis in the Labour Party because, he's a man, that is interested in grabbing power at all costs. What was the problem? You remember, I said there was a time we took Abure to court over some matters, and we got, an injunction restraining him. We knew how Obi mobilizes senior advocate of Nigeria in court to the extent that Abure prevailed. And they said, oh, Abure has no case to answer. Fine, we have not about this thing. We decided, to follow that judgment. But what is now happening? Same thing that is dead on arrival in court was what Obi is now proclaiming to say, oh, Abure is this, Abure is that, and Abure has to resign. Why would Abure resign? Our problem with him was because when we had the court that Abure to step down, Apapa came on board, but he doesn't want Apapa. He pretended he wanted an Abure. At the end of the day, he never wanted Apapa and Abure. All they wanted was just his own, so that they can continue the Yahoo they did for us. We are a presidential candidate. I've never had that in history. A presidential candidate will go and open a personal account and not be taking money into it, and you are running on a political platform. Let him go and try that. You see, there are some things that we are still going to.
We're out of time.
He is free. Let him go there. We do not want him in Labour Party.
Mr. Arabambi.
We do not want him.
Mr. Arabambi.
Nobody will do any Yahoo for us.
Mr. Arabambi, thank you so much. But this case reminds me of a story of a child who went out to a party, ate rice and chicken, and then came back to the house, and the mother said, "You will not enter the house. That you've decided to leave the house and live with the people who organize the party. You've disowned us." Just because he went to eat rice there. So Obi did not say he has moved. He just went there and joined other members. So that's why I was asking if you have any press statement that he has said, "I hereby declare that I have." But since there's no press statement...
We are not waiting, my dear brother, we are not waiting for any press statement.
But let him come back and tell you now, as he told you,
so Mr. Arabambi, what next?
You've locked the door already.
No,
so what next?
The member of Astra, we do respect, we call them the corners.
So what next, Mr. Arabambi? if Mr. Obi says, ignores what you're saying, although his camp has responded, of course, calling your team political jesters and saying that he's gotten permission and took permission from the party and that the party is fully in support. So if he ignores your warnings, what next?
Not representing. Nenadi Usman is not representing Labour Party. He's not representing Labour Party. So our decision is the final. Obi must leave. If he doesn't go, then we will go to the political cleaners. Things that people are not supposed to hear about him and not, then we will go to the world and expose. He should just pack his bag and packaging and go there. So let him go and expose his bed there. He must not even speak about Labour Party anymore. If he does, he will meet us. He will meet us in court. We will go to EFCC. There are a lot of things, a lot of nonsense that they have committed in the Labour Party. We advise him to leave. We are just giving him that respect. If he fails, we know how many of them that EFCC will pick up and nobody should blame us that we are with something.
This is actually now starting to sound like a threat.
Wow.
Mr. Arabambi.
We do not want them to come and invest us with their corruption.
Mr. Arabambi, this is starting to sound like a threat. And if you were aware of any crimes that were being committed and did nothing, then maybe you also can be accused of being complicit. But that's a